Peace and blessings, guys. It's the Queen of Spades coming at you today. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about an experience that I just recently had. So, there was a client that, asked me to do a love working for her and her boyfriend. And off the strength, offhand, there's nothing wrong with that. If you need a little oomph in your love life, I don't mind helping people with that. However, it's for a fee. And I have all the different workings on my site. At first, I kept it very general on my site, but then I changed it where I actually list out all the different workings that I offer. So, the client purchased the divination, the consultation and the divination. And then they got to talking about, the different things that were going on with them where their finances and work and stuff was concerned. So I suggested to get a sweetening, for their bosses. And I'm not going to go into and say what the client's name is, but the reason why I'm mentioning this situation off the top is because shit got real really fast. I had an extensive conversation with the client one day, and then the client called back, another day, and I had another extensive conversation with her. And both times she's like, okay, so what am I getting? I explained to her, what I suggested for her, which was, the consultation, the divination, and the sweetening for her bosses for her financial situation. And then, possibly the love working, for her and the boyfriend afterwards, because this financial situation seemed a little bit more dire than a love working for her and her boyfriend. Now, it was totally up to her to choose what she wanted to get, but she went ahead and purchased the sweetening. And then she's like, okay, so she asked me another day, so when do you do the working for me and my boyfriend? And I'm like, you didn't purchase a working for you and your boyfriend. You purchased a working for a sweetening for your bosses. And she's like, well, that was the whole point of me, wanting to purchase, because I wanted to, get work done for me and my boyfriend and this, that, and the other. So I'm like, okay. All right. So why don't we do this? Since they're both about the same price on my site, why don't we just switch it out? I'll do the working for you and your boyfriend, and we'll cancel out the sweetening for your bosses, and we'll just go from there. So then she's like, no, I just want to keep it the same. I'll keep it with the sweetening for my bosses. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, okay. She's like, but I could always come back later and purchase, the love binding for me and my boyfriend, right? And I'm like, yeah, you could always come back and purchase that. I just felt like you should do this now since, you're on the verge of, what's happening with you and your finances. And then, she comes back again, and she's like, she texts me and she's like, okay, so today is, Sunday. What did you say you was doing again today? That's when I started to become very annoyed, because I spent an extensive amount of time, the first 3 conversations, an extensive amount of time explaining exactly what was going to be done, what day it was going to be done, and what it was for. Then on my site, when you go to it, you could look at each working and see what it's for. You can look at it and see what the price is. You can look at it and tell which one you're going to need for what situation, just based off of the description. So now to have you coming back, to ask me, okay, what are you doing again? Like, I get really annoyed with things like that. Don't come back to me after me having to explain. And it wouldn't have been an issue if it was just like, okay, so what are we doing? And then I tell her, and then it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like you just forgot, or you needed, you just wanted to be reassured because you were unsure. But the times before that time, I explained what was going to be done. And it was like, but I thought, but, and I'm like, what? Like, spit it out. Like, it was just crazy. Like you're about to have a panic attack because you feel like somebody is like doing you wrong or something. You have the option to choose whatever working you want to choose. And then once you choose, like, what are you complaining about? Like, what are you talking about? Now, you can easily say to me, oh, shoot, I purchased the wrong working. I really meant to do this one. That's not a problem. We can easily switch it out for the other one, especially if they're around the same price, give or take a few dollars here and there. I will easily, switch it out. And I offered that. And she's like, no, just keep it as is. But then the next day, she's like, well, when are you going to do the working for me and my boyfriend? And I'm like, what? Honey, look, at that moment, I'm at the point where you want a refund because your shit is not guaranteed to come out right at this point because you've pissed me off with your back and forth and your shenanigans. Don't come contacting me every day talking about, what did you say we're going to do again? No, this is not the time nor the place for that type of BS. Don't come at me with that. Look, I got a life outside of this. I have things that I do outside of this. I designate some of my time and my energy to doing energy work for people and for myself and for my family and for friends. I don't need a person acting like blonde. Don't come to me with your blonde moments. Don't come to me like you slow or something. You're not getting what I'm saying, especially when I know I have explained extensively, especially when I know that you're getting emailed receipts for what you have purchased. And I'm getting copies of the receipts to me too, emailed to me too. And you're in agreement with it when we hang up. And then the next day, well, when is this going to happen? And then I have to tell you, no, you didn't get that. Remember, you got this. Then I got a screenshot and send you what you purchased and send you the conversation where you agreed to it. And now you but I thought I will cut you off. If I swear, I have never had to deal with anybody like that before. And I'm not going to deal with anybody like that. The first time I noticed that you having repetitious blonde moments and you acting like you a little off or something, like you can't seem to understand instruction or explanations of things after several times of it being given to you, when I notice that, you'll be cut off. Your phone, your money will be refunded back to you, and I will not do any workings for you because I don't have time. That's a level of stress. I have to, as a mother, repeat things to my children. What makes you think I'm going to repeat things to you as a grown adult? That's unnecessary stress for me. I don't like to repeat myself, but I will do it with my children because they're children. But if I have to do that with you as a grown adult too, then we don't need to have dealings. You can go and find the next worker, whatever you got to do tell him how horrible and how ugly I was because I basically was stern and down the line and let you know, like, you're not about to play with me. Like, do what you got to do. But I will refund your money back and send you on your way. Because I'm not dealing with no silliness like that. That's just crazy. And I told her at some point, I was like, when I told you that we could have switched it out, you didn't want to. And then I told her, like, I can give you a refund. You can go and find another spiritual worker because I can't deal. And she was like, no, please. I understand. I understand. And the only reason why I found the peace of mind to do it, just go ahead and do it for her, was because I calculated in all the excitement one experiences when they're about to get help with their situations and all of that. And I just went ahead and did it because she did not pester me like that anymore. She literally backed all the way up. But I don't have clients like that. And I won't have clients like that. I will not work with you or for you if you come acting crazy like that, because that's just ridiculous. That is ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. And it makes you wonder, like, all the things that you say that's happening to you in your life, did you draw that to you? Because, like, I see how you are with me and how crazy you're acting with me. Like, it makes you wonder, like, it makes you say, like, I kind of see why things be happening to you. Like, it's ridiculous. Then I do what I always do whenever someone does magic for, whether it be a friend, a client, whatever. You need that person's first name, their last name, their birth date, which is something I say right off the bat to any potential client that I'm dealing with. And she's like, oh, well, I only have my boyfriend's first name. I have, his month and his birthday, but not his year. And I'm like, how long y'all been talking? Like, she's like, for a while now. And I'm like, how long is for a while? Because, I usually find out things like that off the bat when I was on the dating scene. Like even my husband, I knew his information like a weekend. Like, I just didn't understand that. And she's like, he's just very private with his information. Maybe it's time to look for another boyfriend. I don't know. Because, you're not going to be dealing with me and I don't know nothing about you. Like, your last name and your birth date. Those are two basic things that I'm required to know. So that was like crazy for me. And I asked for the information and she took forever to get it to me. A couple of days to get it to me. And then when she got it to me, it was just like the guy's first name and his month and day of birth. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need his last name too and the year that he was born. And she's like, oh, I don't want to have to ask him. And I'm like, how long y'all been talking? Like, this is ridiculous. It just was crazy. And I'm never going to go through anything like that again. That was a waste of my time and energy alone. I had to tell her, like, you done put me through like hoops in a short period of time. If your working don't turn out right, it's because your energy is off. And that's just point blank, period, about the whole situation. Because I don't have complaints from clients. I don't have no clients that say that their working just didn't turn out right. Just didn't turn out right. Or, they had problems with me as a spiritual worker. I don't have no complaints. So, it's just crazy. Like, at some point, I was like, okay, you can't get me his full information. That's fine. I'm going to work with what I have. I can't guarantee that it's going to work out right totally and completely because I told you I need all of his information. So she's like, okay, I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll get it because I need it to work all the way out right. Well, then Stop your bitching and moaning and complaining and do what the hell you're told to do, or find someone else. Like, it's just that simple. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, I'm the wrong one for you to come. It just seemed like a bunch of a bullshit. Like, either you're slow as hell or you playing like you dumb. Either you really don't understand what you went on my site and spent money for, or you trying to play somebody over here and you trying to get a bunch of freebies. And I'm sorry, but I'm the wrong fucking one for that. Like, you're not getting just free work from me. Like, you came to me. I didn't come to you. You came to me for help, and I'm here to help and assist others. And I've been very successful with that. But don't try to play me. That's the wrong thing you could ever do. That's the wrong answer. It's just crazy. And that's why I used to look at other spiritual workers when they say, like, I don't think that I'm going to be doing this for long. I don't think that I'm going to be doing work for others. I'd rather just teach people. And I'd be like, I wonder why. I wonder why they don't just help people. Now I understand why there's lots of spiritual workers out here not even trying to do work for people anymore. And now I understand why, people who are sincere are running into scammers, because, a lot of us spiritual workers are clocking out because of bullshit like this. Well, you're not gonna make me just walk away from this, because this is a natural gift that I have, and I enjoy doing magic. I enjoy seeing people get their happy ever afters. I enjoy helping people, but I just won't help you. Like, I'm not going to help people like that. You got to find somebody else. That within itself is poverty mindedness. And if you're like that with something like that, you have money to purchase. If you doing all that for that, like, I can understand why you're attracting many different hiccups in your life right now. That poverty mindset is what attracts all of that. Like, who do you think you playing with? It's crazy. Like, I tell you, it's really ridiculous. But I know what to do the next time somebody like that comes around, because I'm not dealing with it at all. Before somebody even send me anything, I'll be screening people thoroughly, because I don't have time for clients like that. And I don't usually just talk in a negative way about people, but that one rubbed me the wrong way. And I really felt like part of it was a sense of not knowing, but then the other part of it was like, you're trying to get over. And I mean, you trying to slick a can of oil. Like, who do you really think that you're dealing with here? Do you think that I'm just like some newbie that just, I'm just new to everything? I don't, who do you think you're dealing with? I tell you, she made it harder for the next ones to come, because I'm really going to be screening folks from here on out. I don't have time. And I won't be dealing with people like that ever again. Like, that was just, whew, I don't wish that on nobody. Like, y'all need to get it together. It's one thing to need help and assistance from somebody, but if you're badgering people like that, nobody's going to want to help you. Like, don't come at people like that. Don't come at people like her, because I'm telling you, it's not going to end well. Like, I was at the verge where my assistance wouldn't have been assistance. It would have been counterproductive for her. That's where I was at with that, because that's the point she drove me to. But it's over and done with, so I'm happy about that. Hopefully she'll move on with her life and you know, find someone else to do the rest of her workings. But yeah, so I'm gonna end that here, and I'm gonna go on about my day. I was fuming before today. I have been able to rest and get peace of mind and calm down. So in that same note, I'm gonna leave it at that. Please know what you want, so that you can express that to me or any other spiritual worker before you get to the spiritual worker. Know what you want, know what you need, and be clear about it. That's all I can say. Like, be clear about what you want and allow the worker to do what he or she does best. You have a question or two here and there, nobody minds that. Nobody feels any type of way about that. But when it becomes like, it started to feel like a spiritual and energetic attack. That's what it started to feel like. And so if I feel like I'm being attacked, what am I going to do? I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to hex your ass. Like, that's what I felt like. You know, and it's just crazy. Like, nobody should have to go through that. I'm not going to go through that. So I'm going to leave this video at that. And I'll holler at y'all a little bit later. Peace and blessings.